Hello and welcome back. So, today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different in Witchfire, and that being all the stuff that's coming. Now, I've been scouring through the developer blogs to read about what they're adding, and you can even see in game all the stuff that's coming. There's locked gates everywhere, there's walls that look like they shouldn't be there, and stuff like that. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through and talk about all the shit that's coming. Now, before I got into it, I've seen it in my own comment section, and I've seen it all over, like the Discord for Witchfire and all this. People just bitching and moaning about its exclusivity to Epic, and the deal is like Epic is helping them out, right? Epic's treating them right. They're helping them promoting the game and all this and that. And so, and they've said before they're gonna be coming to Steam eventually. I'm pretty sure they're even coming to consoles. So, like, as unfortunate as it is, I feel like if that's what's best for the game, then I'm happy. Now, they just announced their new Gnosis system. Apparently, a lot of people were bitching and moaning about how leveling up makes the game harder, and so they have implemented, or well, they are working on implementing this new Gnosis system. And basically, how that'll work is it'll be an unlockable stat, similar to like leveling up your stats with Witchfire. Uh, but you have to go to a separate place altogether. They made that very clear. You're gonna have to go to like a cult room and do some challenge to unlock it. So it could be like you need 100,000 Witchfire, or you need to defeat this boss, or some challenge along those lines. And what that will do is basically what the leveling up right now does. It implements new traps and new enemy types, new challenges, and all that kind of stuff right there. So I can read just my summarized version of what their blog said is Gnosis is a separate entity. You will level in a special place. You'll have 10 levels of Gnosis. Each level can be obtained by doing one of several actions. Each level grants more Witchfire and access to hidden things, i.e., like the challenge chests and whatnot, possibly even locked areas. The witch will strengthen her defenses, i.e., more traps and enemies. Relative freedom on when and how you get the levels. Now that's the big one that everybody has been whining about, is people want to feel overpowered. They don't want the game to get harder when they get better. So this will allow you to feel powerful because you don't have to make the enemies harder. So hopefully that makes people more happy. And they also mention this, which I think is a really cool idea. It's probable that Gnosis will have weapons and spells locked behind it. So if you want the baddest ass gear in the game, you're gonna have to up them levels. You're gonna have to get good. Now, I was also reading about the calamity changes because a lot of people felt that the calamities were random and almost annoying, and it was ruining their experience, which I've experienced a little bit of. I think the calamity system is great, but when it messes up, it really sucks. Like, you're in the middle of a boss fight, and then the calamity shows up, and you have to run all the fucking way across the map to get rid of the calamity, or deal with, a bunch of shit spawning all over you while you're fighting a boss. Like, the shit gets annoying. But to fix that, the calamity meter, they were talking about putting a calamity meter on the HUD. So like on the maps, whenever you open the maps and look at the little encampments, you could have skulls that their eyes light up or something like that. But you can meter it, but at the same time it's pretty missable. They were planning on having more messages showing when the calamity is forming. So if you do something to cause, like the calamity to grow, for instance, they would let you know. Like, if you opened a cursed chest and it was a challenge that you didn't want to do, so you take haul ass running from it, you'll see a message that pop up calling you a coward. And that's to let you know, like, alright, the calamity's starting to form. And shit like that, which I think is kind of cool. And then the last thing is they were wanting to work on the consistency of what causes calamities to show up. Because I've seen and I've experienced some things that's like, well, you know, like shooting a trap, for instance. I thought the calamity was supposed to show up if you triggered a trap, but like hurting you. But if you shoot a trap, it also causes the calamity to show up. So I think they're gonna work on shit like that, making it to where just because a trap was triggered doesn't mean a calamity's coming. Now to the big stuff that we're all looking forward to, and that would be all the stuff that's actually being added instead of just changed. It looks like there's going to be 6 maps when the game comes out, obviously. If you load up the game and go to the map selector, you see the maps. There's going to be 4 large maps, 2 of which are already in-game, but they might be adding on to, like the castle, for instance, having the dungeons opened. There's gonna be 1 small map with its own game mode, and I suspect it'll probably be like a last stand horde mode or something. That's all I can think of on something like a small map, is it would just be like wave based or something. And then lastly, they'll have a large raid level, which I think could be really cool depending on how they do it. Maybe like a linear level where you have to just progressively go through challenge after challenge, weakening the witch, you know. I think that could be a ton of fun. Now they are adding a bunch of different weapons and enemy types. We have 6 bosses coming, 5 familiars and the witch. We only have 2 familiars right now. Interestingly enough, we don't have the first 2. We have the first one and the third one. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to that or not. I think our second level right now is actually going to be the third level. We have 46 enemy types, only 22 of which are in the game right now, so that's exciting. Here's the big one, 31 weapons. Right now we only have 7. So that's a huge update right there. That'll be nice. That'll be good and fun. It looks like we'll be getting 24 magical items, and right now there's only 9. And those are like the rings and the fetishes and shit like that. 20 more, 20 spells. There's only 9 right now, which I hope that they're planning on adding more. Because that's 11 more. You know, that's not a whole bunch more. And that's also split between light and heavy spells. So whenever you break it down, you're getting like 5 lights and 5 more heavies, which is just not that much. So hopefully they have plans to add more stuff like that. They also plan traps, calamities, and events, along with NPCs. And now, like in the area where you make the potions, there's a separate room in there with a desk that's all lit up, and I suspect that's either going to be an NPC or maybe it'll still be an NPC that like you go to research new potion types, similar to like the mirror with the weapons, which I think will be I think that'll be really cool. And the last thing that we're going to talk about right now is the class system that they were talking about. They just mentioned it. They didn't say anything like this is coming. They just said it would be fun if this happened. And I'm going to take it and hope that they actually do it, because I agree. It says that they may add somewhat of a class system where you can choose what gun to start with, and may even have presets with stats. Now, if you're interested in going through the blog post, because I did a very short summary of each one of the blogs, just go to the Astronauts website and go to Witchfire. I mean, they have blogs for days, all talking about the UGG update, the Gnosis system update, the Calamity changes, and obviously there's more to come. So if you wanted to get the whole story, I definitely recommend you going and reading all that stuff. But if you don't want to read all that because it's like 75 pages worth of shit, here's all the stuff that they're planning on. So if you enjoyed, then like and subscribe. If you didn't, then don't. Either way it goes, have yourself a very fine day.